Hey orthodontist, this is for you and thank you for stopping by. I got a quick presentation, it's not going to be long, under 10 minutes. It'll let you know what I can do, what we can do together and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, just give me 5-10 minutes of your time and I'll be gone, I promise. The reason I've dragged you here is been doing orthodontist marketing for a long time. I've been doing some med spa stuff as well for a long time and a couple of other things, but I always seem to go back to orthodontists. And in the last few years, spent $2.2 million on Google Ads. And I've learned just four things, and I'm just going to give them to you today. If you see here, you can see we spent $2.2 million, 49,500 conversions. That's either a lead, like a form fill, or a phone call. And the lead cost is about $44 to $45 per lead. Full transparency, that's generally about $70 or $80, but because there's some low important calls mixed in with that, then that's why that's coming out much lower, but it's not that low actually. But yes, so if you look at it, $75, $80 a lead. These are the four things that matter. Number one, your offer. Everyone chooses get a free consult. Everyone does that. It's barely an offer. If you haven't got anything other than a free consult, then go for that because it works. It still works. It's just not very effective. The reason it's not very effective is because everyone does it. If everyone's doing it in your location, then the only thing people are going to make a decision over is cost and how near you are. But if you're offering something better than that, like free teeth whitening consult or some kit or other treatment that's low cost to you that you can throw in, which is of high value to a potential customer, that could be a better way of getting people in from just a cold lead to a consult and then hopefully into a treatment start. The second thing, this I see all the time, communication. How fast are you following up on your leads? 10 minutes should be it. Instantly should be better. Within the hour is okay, but next day and beyond, waste of time. They won't know who you are. They'll have moved on. Google and Meta and YouTube, all huge platforms, all have a lot of options and opportunities, and people will not hang around for you to contact them. So if you can contact people within 10 minutes, that's great. If it's a lead that comes in by form, then follow up with a phone call, because one of the mandatory fields that we use is a phone number, so you should be using that as well. If it's a phone call, jump on that straight away. Don't leave it to an answer machine. Get a human to answer it and have them take the time to answer the questions, and hopefully you can bring them in for a consult. Budget. This hasn't changed for me in a while. $3,000 to $4,000 a month. Ortho clicks are not cheap. Ortho leads are not cheap because Google knows the potential of a $4,000 or $5,000 sale with a treatment start. So this is why it's not cheap, and it's hugely competitive. If you're going to get all this set up, either if you're working with me or you're doing it on your own, $20, $30 a day just will not do it. It's just, yeah, just don't waste your time. It's but if you can do 3,000, if you can do 4,000, that'd be great. And the idea is, and if we would work together, is that the more you spend, the more you get back. So it becomes, it's not an expense, it becomes an investment. So, and also with these campaigns that I set up, predictability comes after a couple of months. So you know that if you put in 4,000, you're going to get X amount out. Location. This is a fancy word for saying where are you and who else is running ads next to you. We can find out these things with a few tools, SEMrush, things like that. You can find out yourself by typing in your main keyword and seeing what shows up. But this is not the best solution because all ads don't show up with every click. They enter an auction each time, so you might not be the right candidate that they're looking for. So if they're targeting women and you're male, the ad probably won't show up. Things like that. So if you can find out what people are doing, what they're spending, and how many competitors there are around you. Pretty much those are the four most important things: offer, communication, budget, and location. These are a few people that I've worked with. And what we've got here is one at the top, fairly rural area in Ontario. And yes, leads with $13.55 because he had very little competition. But spent $4,000, which is great, and brought in 292 leads. They were mostly phone calls, that's why they're cheaper. Here, some more competition. This is a company in the US, and here we've got 117 conversions. That's great. Again, spent $9,000 there. A bit more competition, but 70 to 80 is what you should be looking at for a lead. And then the idea is you over time you work out how many leads it needs to get someone in a consult, and then how many consults it takes to get someone on a treatment start. For this company here, it was 10 leads. So the consult cost $800. And every 2 or 3 consults got them a start. So this is what we're having to deal with. It's the clicks are not cheap, but we can work on them. And this one is a competitive niche, a competitive market. This one here is a bit cheaper. Spent nearly $4,000, 110 leads, $33 per lead, much more like it. Aim for somewhere in between here, but yeah, it's what it is. If you were to work with me or anyone like myself, then there is an element of a partnership in here. It's not just me doing this for you, because you need to convert those leads into consults, then convert those consults into treatment starts. So you need someone in your office that can answer the phone, that knows a bit about sales, that knows the treatments inside out, that can turn a phone call into a consult, and can turn a consult into a treatment start. So yes, it is more of a partnership. I do a lot of this stuff for you, and we'll go over all the elements of what's involved for you and for me, but that is it in short. It's more of a partnership. So what can we expect if we work together? The first thing I would do is research. Let's find out what your competition is doing. Let's look at some ads, their offers, landing pages, and their budgets. With this information and our own in-depth keyword research, we can build a picture of what's happening in your area and who are the people to beat, and then we'll beat them. This involves keyword research, location, how many ads are running at any one time, that kind of stuff. And the idea is that we don't try and outspend them, we try and outmarket them. So we do a better job than they're doing, and the easiest way to do that is to look at what they're doing in depth. This is completely legitimate. We use fully legal tools. It sounds underhand, but it's not. So if we were going to do the 4 steps I outlined on the first slide, the 4 steps would be your offer. Let's start with your offer and let's try and avoid a free consult. It's not the best. Everyone does this. It's not lazy as such. It's just an easy thing to go to, and it's but we can do a lot better with that. We can make something much stronger and something you're more comfortable with. I mentioned twice now the electric toothbrush offer. The reason I mentioned that is because I've got a few people doing that, and it's like $100 electric toothbrush. They struck a deal with a toothbrush provider, and they got a bunch of them, and it works well. But again, it's if you're giving more than a free consult, you're going to stand out, and that's all. It's basically we're trying to stand out, so not everyone just looks at free offer, free offer, free offer, free offer. Where are they? How much are they? We want them to avoid that. We want to go, wow, great offer. Simple as that. Step 2, lead response. This should not be part of my remit, but it is because it's really important. If the leads aren't being responded to, then there is not much point me sending the leads because they will die. And I'll help you create an SOP, standard operating procedure. We'll listen to some calls. I can give you some demonstration calls that I've heard because I use a tracking software called CallRail and a couple of others as well, and Go High Level, and we can track the calls and we can listen in on how well your team is doing. If you have one person that's dedicated to the lead response role, that would be ideal. In a perfect world, it wouldn't be someone on reception, but people on reception are busy most of the time. And these things need responding to straight away. There is a cost for every phone call that doesn't get answered, and the same with a lead that doesn't get answered within the same business day. Step 3, ads, landing pages, and language. For this, we'll talk about the ads. We'll show you some examples. We'll look at the competitors' examples. Make sure you're happy with the verbiage we use and the terms we want to exclude and include, such as, do you want to use the orthodontist's name? Do you want to mention the location or an age group? Basically, we want to mimic your voice. So what I would do is I would create some ads and a landing page that I would send them to you, and I would say, is this correct? Then you could say, I wouldn't say that, I wouldn't say this. And then we edit it. Simple as that. Really, really straightforward. This also applies to landing pages, the best images, headlines, messaging. We want to mimic your voice and basically show off your premises as well. Step 4. If months 1 and 2 are about test phases, particularly month 1, but we should be seeing some leads as well. Month 3 should be where we get a chance to scale on what is working and remove what is not. We do a bit of this from day 1. We're looking for keywords that aren't working, or if a landing page isn't working, we redesign it. If the ad goes stale, then we rebuild the ad, that kind of thing. And then we look at which platform is bringing in the better leads. And then we start to spend more money, if that's an option, on the better platforms, and we will either remove the poorer platforms. Mostly I work with Google Ads and YouTube ads. I add Meta as an additional service because that works great as well. But I would start off with those 3 or those 2, and if one is working better than the others, then I would substitute one. Simple as that. This is my rate card. It's very, very sexy, isn't it? It's I used to work for an agency. I've worked with 4 agencies so far, and I quite enjoyed the experience. But I've been doing this for, I think it's close to 15 years now. I'm not going to check because that makes me feel really, really, really old. But yes, I'm much cheaper than an agency because inside agencies you've got a lot of people. So as I was the ad specialist, I would have a ad specialist manager to report to, who would report to the account manager, who would report to the client. So getting stuff done was very, very difficult, and it took forever. So if I wanted to make a simple change, I had to go up this chain of command. Whereas if you work with me, you speak to me, you have access to me whenever you need. Simple as that, really. It's painfully slow. If you want to get something changed, or if the client, if it goes the other way as well, if the client, that would be you, wants something set up, they speak to the account manager, who speaks to my manager, who would speak to me. Yes, really, really, really tedious, and things can get lost in translation as well. I guarantee my results. It's always worked. Here's 3 people, that's proof. It's just, oh yeah, great. It really does well. As I said, we're looking to get you positive results, because there's not much point in doing this if we don't. So my offer is to grow your orthodontic business with more leads, leading to more in-person consults and sales. That's the elevator pitch. It's as simple as that. And what you would get specifically for the $17.50 per month, I'll just mention that up there. That doesn't include Meta ads. If I did Meta ads as well, I'd round it up to $2,100. Again, half the price of most agencies. They go in at $4,000 or $5,000. I just don't need to do that because my overheads are so much lower. I work from home. I have worked from home for more than 10 years. As I said, I'm not going to check. I think it's 15. Depressing. Anyway, what you get. So you get Google and YouTube ads within that price, and then we'd have $3,000 to $4,000 on top of that as ad spend. Meta or Facebook ads, we would use mostly as remarketing. So what we'd do is we would have the traffic on Google as a search campaign. We would have a video of your an office walkthrough on YouTube, and then we would have remarketing on Facebook. So the people that saw your YouTube ad and your Google ad will get seen on Meta as well. And then if Google isn't the perfect choice for your particular campaign, we may move it to Meta. So we'd use Meta as mostly an ads platform and a remarketing platform, and we'd use YouTube as well. The idea is we would, especially for YouTube ads, we would have a perimeter around your premises, and we would target your ideal customer around that perimeter and show them your quick video ads. We'll help you make them. We'll make them for you. If you do the camera work, we'll edit them, put some music on, all that kind of stuff, stick your logo on, make it look nice. Really good. Really, really good. The other thing, a landing page. No one should be sending any traffic to a homepage. It just doesn't work. So a landing page with a full back end for leads management and a pipeline with full automation is essential. That's all part of the price. So what we do is we would use your domain name. So we would have, let's say, leads.myortho.com. And the page would be leads dot. So you keep your website, nothing gets changed there. We just add this page on. It looks like it's on your website. It technically is, but it technically isn't, if you see what I mean. But then we can track the leads. The leads go to whoever you have nominated. So if you say it's this email address, we will point all the leads there. And then if you have an in-office special number, we can redirect from our Google tracking number. So then we can track the results. So we're tracking phone calls and we're tracking lead forms. Simple as that. Sounds very technical, and it's not. But then again, people's teeth sounds very technical to me. So swings and roundabouts. So there's full tracking of all leads. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell. As I said, my prices are $1,750, $2,100 at a push. If you want to add on some other networks, we might add a bit more on for that. But I've done this with Pinterest, with Microsoft Ads, and a platform called Taboola works very well as well. There's quite a few of them. There's quite a lot of choice. The reason I don't do Facebook as a primary platform is because that's where everyone advertises. And the difference between Google and Meta or Facebook is Google, they are searching for exactly what you offer. Facebook and Meta, you are distracting them from looking at cats, family, nice dogs, or in my case, Rush and drum kits. So there you go. That's it in a nutshell. If you'd like to work together, I would love to have you on board. I have a policy where I don't work with two companies in the same location. So if you're very close to another orthodontist, and if by some miracle both orthodontists wanted to work with me, I would work with the first one and I would politely refuse the second one. So then you get that's my kind of just so I'm not competing with myself, and it's fairer to you, and it might be disappointing to them, but that's it. First come, first served. Simple as that. I have nothing more to say, but I would love to speak to you. Hit me up with a message, or there's a calendar below this if you're on the website. And it really is as simple as that. I really, really look forward to working with you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.